Do you feel like you're constantly being taken advantage of, and you're not getting the respect you deserve? You're not alone. Everyone wants to feel respected and valued, and it's easy to get taken advantage of when you don't stand up for yourself. But there are simple and effective ways to instantly get the respect you deserve. Welcome to our channel, where we help you become the best version of yourself. In today's video, we'll discuss 6 powerful ways to gain instant respect and stop being taken advantage of. Whether at work, in relationships, or in everyday interactions, earning respect is crucial for a fulfilling life. Suppose you're ready to take control of your life and gain the respect you deserve. Keep watching. Number 1. Respect yourself. Respecting yourself is critical to earning respect from others. Start by understanding that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are as valid as anyone else's. You don't need to apologize for having your opinions or trying something new. Recognize your worth and practice self-care. Give yourself credit for the things you do well and your effort. When faced with a situation where someone mistreats you, it's essential to stand up for yourself and your rights. Don't be afraid to speak up and speak out when you feel you're being taken advantage of. Showing strength and taking action can be the best way to prove that you deserve respect. It's also important to take time for yourself so you can learn about who you are and stay true to yourself. Take a break when you need it, and don't be afraid to make decisions based on what you think is best for you. This will help show others you respect yourself and won't let anyone take advantage of you. Plus, it's essential to set boundaries for yourself and those around you. Tell people what acceptable and unacceptable behavior is, and be clear about your expectations. Make sure that you stick to these expectations and enforce them if necessary. By not tolerating any disrespect, people will start to recognize that you aren't willing to accept anything less than respect. Plus, they'll begin to see that you have standards and know how to enforce them. Furthermore, recognizing the signs of disrespect quickly will help you respond promptly and appropriately to protect yourself. Lastly, maintain positive relationships with those around you. Respectful relationships are critical both ways. Thus, if you show respect toward others, they're likely to reciprocate. If people know you respect them, they're less likely to disrespect you. Number 2. Be confident. One of the essential steps to getting instant respect is to be confident in yourself. People will naturally respond to your self-assurance, which helps set the tone for how they should interact with you. Confidence is critical when it comes to displaying respect, both for yourself and others. When it comes to being confident, it's essential to know your strengths and weaknesses, as well as be able to speak about them in a way that portrays your strengths in the best light. Be sure to practice good posture, use your words purposefully, and remain calm when speaking or interacting with muscles. Additionally, it's important to stay open-minded about criticism. While it's easy to become defensive when someone criticizes us, it's essential to keep in mind and use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Practice being confident in minor reactions with people. This can help build your confidence over time, so that when it comes to more significant conversations, you'll be prepared and ready to stand firm and gain more respect if you display confidence, vital to yourself and your beliefs. Number 3. Stop apologizing for nothing. Apologizing too much can make you seem insecure or weak, destroying your credibility. Apologizing frequently can also make it seem like you're not confident in yourself or your decisions. Take responsibility for your mistakes. If you always feel like apologizing, take a step back and reflect on why that is. Is it because you feel like you need to prove yourself constantly and always feel apologizing is good enough? Taking responsibility for your mistakes without over-apologizing can prove yourself constantly, showing you learn and grow from any situation. Additionally, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Don't let people talk down to you or use passive-aggressive language. Be assertive and communicate your needs. This will prove you constantly take too much of yourself or expect you to accept certain behaviors. Speak firmly, but politely so that people know that you won't put up with their unacceptable behavior. It's essential to learn how to disagree with someone if needed, respectfully. Also, setting boundaries is vital to ensuring other people respect you. Establish clear boundaries between what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior towards you. Be critical of those disrespecting you, so they understand how their behavior affects you. Letting them know their actions have consequences can teach them how to interact with you respectfully. Lastly, practicing self-respect is essential to getting others to recognize and appreciate your vital motive. Self-respect means understanding who you are and what value matters most to you. Through self-respect, you will be confident to set healthy boundaries and interact with others with dignity. Number 4, be willing to walk away. No matter how much someone may want your respect, they don't deserve it if they're constantly taking advantage of you. One of the best things you can do in this situation is be willing to walk away. This conveys you won't tolerate disrespectful behavior and will not be taken advantage of. It can be challenging to be confident in the situation, especially if you care about the person. But if it's not a healthy relationship, it's important to recognize when it's time to move on. Showing that you won't tolerate bad behavior strongly signals that you deserve respect. This doesn't mean that you need to completely cut people out of your life if they don't treat you the way you deserve. It's important to discuss the issue and allow them to make things right. But if they continue to take advantage of you, it's time to make a change. Be brave enough to stand up for yourself and be willing to walk away if necessary. If someone does not treat you with the respect you deserve, it's essential to speak up. Let them know your boundaries and behaviors you will no longer tolerate. You can also be assertive and stick to your guns once you've set these boundaries. It might take courage to let people know your expectations, but standing up for yourself can go a long way in gaining instant respect. It's also important to remember that sometimes walking away is the only option if someone continues to disrespect or mistreat you despite your efforts. While it might initially seem complex, cutting ties with unhealthy relationships can be incredibly liberating. Remember that self-worth comes from within, and that no one can take that from you. Number 5. Stop your people-pleasing. People-pleasers often come off as weak and insecure. They try to please everyone around them, which usually leads them to be taken advantage of. People-pleasers will continuously be scared of their way to make others happy, even if it means sacrificing their own needs. It's important to remember that you don't have to be one who bends over backwards all the time to be liked. If you constantly try to please others, take a step back and remember that it's okay to say no. Be confident in your decisions and stand up for what you believe in. Don't be afraid to be firm when needed. Don't be scared to let people know when their expectations are unrealistic. Your boundaries should be respected, and it's okay to put your foot down when needed. By setting boundaries and not being a people pleaser, you'll gain the respect of those around you. People will learn to take you seriously and know you mean business when you say something. You won't be taken advantage of or for granted because people will recognize your strength and confidence. Number 6. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries is an essential part of getting respect. Boundaries tell people what behaviors are and aren't acceptable in your presence. When you set boundaries, you won't be taken advantage of. The first step to setting boundaries is identifying behaviors you don't want to tolerate. It can be anything from criticism to insults. Once you know the behaviors you won't accept, it's important to communicate them clearly and directly. Let the other person know exactly what behavior isn't acceptable and how it makes you feel. When setting boundaries, It's also important to remember that you don't have to have that negative behavior just because someone else is rude or aggressive. You have the right to remove yourself from situations that make you uncomfortable. You don't need to explain why you're leaving. It's enough to say that you don't want to be around that behavior. Finally, it's essential to stick to your boundaries. Once you set a limit, don't own it, even if the other person tries to push it. By standing firm and refusing to tolerate disrespectful behavior, you show that you won't be taken advantage of and demand respect. Getting respect is not always easy, but it is an integral part of life. It can be hard to stand up to self-censurers regarding your boundaries. It is necessary to ensure that you are treated critically. Remember that you have the right to be heard and taken seriously, so don't hesitate to speak up when needed. Respect yourself, and others will respect you too. We hope you found these 6 ways to gain instant respect helpful. Remember, respect is not something that is given, it is earned. By implementing these strategies, you'll be well on your way to commanding the respect you deserve.